Phil Jackson is often hailed as the greatest NBA coach of all time. With 11 championship rings, 13 trips to the finals, and 20 seasons under his belt, he masterminded 3 of the NBA's 5 historic three-peats. But what made him so unstoppable for over 2 decades? Jackson's secret weapon wasn't just a strategy, it was a philosophy so impactful that even Michael Jordan credits it as a cornerstone of his legendary career. The question is, how did Jackson convince some of the biggest superstars in the game to adopt his unorthodox methods? And what was the hidden ingredient behind his relentless ability to build championship-winning teams time and again? As you dive deeper into Jackson's story, you begin to see why his success wasn't just a fluke. It was built on a system that redefined greatness. After retiring from a successful playing career that included 2 championships with the New York Knicks, Phil Jackson immediately turned his attention to coaching. His drive to lead and his hunger for success were clear. He wasn't content to settle for an assistant coach role. Jackson started as a head coach in the Puerto Rican League before moving to the Continental Basketball Association, CBA, where he won his first coaching championship with the Albany Patroons in 1984. Recognized as Coach of the Year, Jackson reflected on this pivotal time. My coaching career actually started when I was with the New Jersey Nets. After a stint there, I left to head coach for a few years in Albany and Puerto Rico. I felt that being a head coach was probably better for me and my personality than staying with the NBA as an assistant, and I think it paid off. His meteoric rise in coaching set the stage for a journey that would forever change basketball history. But how did Jackson leap from those early years to the pinnacle of NBA success in just 2 seasons? At the heart of Phil Jackson's coaching success was an unconventional philosophy that merged Eastern mindfulness, Native American spirituality, and a player-centric approach. His methods went beyond the standard X's and O's of basketball. They fostered a deeper connection with his players. Phil did it with meditation, with books. He tried to expand our horizons, said one player. This wasn't just about basketball. It was about building a mindset. Jackson earned his nickname, the Zen Master, by prioritizing mental strength as much as physical conditioning. He famously said, "We practiced mindfulness because, just like pumping iron builds physical strength, it's essential to build mental strength." Meeting Tex Winter on the Chicago Bulls coaching staff was another turning point. Jackson adopted Winter's innovative strategies, which had been rejected by previous coaches, and transformed them into a game-changing system. This tactical genius was paired with a central belief: bench the ego. Jackson empowered his players to take ownership, encouraging a team dynamic where everyone felt valued. This approach didn't just create cohesive teams, it created champions. Phil Jackson's ability to manage egos was a hallmark of his coaching style. He believed that success wasn't about glorifying the coach, but about empowering the players to become leaders themselves. By delegating responsibilities and encouraging players to embrace their roles, Jackson cultivated a team-first mentality. His nuanced approach wasn't just about understanding basketball, it was about understanding people. Jackson tailored his methods to each player's unique personality, strengths, and motivations, creating a culture of trust and loyalty. But his strategies extended beyond personal connections. Jackson's Zen Master techniques kept his teams mentally sharp through grueling seasons. One memorable example? Instead of a regular practice, he once took the team on the Staten Island Ferry, fostering a sense of unity and relaxation. This philosophy of engagement and mindfulness didn't just help players survive the season, it fueled unprecedented accomplishments. Repeating as champions once is hard enough. Doing it 3 times on 3 separate occasions is almost unthinkable. Jackson's belief in teamwork and selflessness allowed even the most competitive players, like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, to buy into his system. He knew how to manage the fiercest egos for the greater good. For example, Jackson famously asked Kobe to pass up a scoring streak in favor of getting the ball to Shaquille O'Neal to keep him engaged for the playoffs. This balance of strategy, psychology, and empathy was key to Jackson's imperial success. Convincing Michael Jordan to embrace a team-oriented approach was no small feat. As one of the most competitive and dominant players in history, Jordan was accustomed to taking over games and carrying the scoring load himself. With 10 scoring titles, it was clear he was exceptional at it. But Jackson knew that for the Bulls to unlock their full potential, Jordan needed to trust his teammates more. In a pivotal conversation, Jackson challenged Jordan's mindset by asking him a simple question. Did he want to be remembered as a player with endless personal accolades or as a champion? The question struck a chord, prompting Jordan to rethink his priorities. To facilitate this shift, Jackson introduced the triangle offense, a revolutionary system that blended Tex Winter's technical brilliance with Jackson's own adaptations. The triangle was designed to eliminate one-on-one play and create constant motion, allowing for up to 33 different options off a single pass. This dynamic system was nearly impossible to defend and gave every player a role in the offense. Jordan famously called it the equal opportunity offense, though it didn't diminish his individual dominance. In fact, Jordan earned 7 more scoring titles while running the triangle, proving its effectiveness. The system wasn't just about scoring, it demanded high basketball IQ and split-second decision-making. Players had to stay present and mindful, a key element Jackson emphasized. With the triangle, Jackson countered defensive schemes like the infamous Jordan rules employed by the Detroit Pistons. Slowly but surely, Jordan embraced the philosophy, and the results spoke for themselves. As Jordan's trust in Phil Jackson and the triangle offense grew, so did the Bulls' success. Jackson's sessions not only reinforced the principles of the offense, but highlighted the importance of every player's role. The mantra, "no man above the team," became a cornerstone of their culture. This shift in Jordan's mindset, paired with Scottie Pippen's rise as a versatile and indispensable teammate, made the Bulls a nearly unstoppable force. By Jackson's first season as head coach, the Bulls had the second-best record in the Eastern Conference. While they fell short in the Eastern Conference Finals, losing to the Detroit Pistons for the 3rd consecutive year, Jackson's influence was undeniable. Pippen's development into a two-way force solidified Jordan's belief in teamwork, setting the stage for the Bulls' eventual breakthrough. The following season, everything clicked. Jackson's system turned the Bulls into a cohesive unit, and they finally defeated the Pistons in the playoffs before taking down the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1991 NBA Finals. This marked the beginning of an iconic dynasty, with Jackson's philosophies and the triangle offense at its core. Jordan didn't just thrive, he flourished. The system allowed him to maintain his scoring dominance while creating opportunities for his teammates. This balance led to the Bulls winning 6 championships and 2 historic three-peats in the 1990s. Jackson had transformed Jordan from a singular star into the linchpin of a dynasty, proving the power of his approach. After dominating with the Bulls, Phil Jackson faced a new challenge, managing the egos of 2 superstars, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, with the Los Angeles Lakers. While Jordan had already established himself as a leader by the time Jackson coached him, Kobe was younger and still forging his identity in the league. Jackson treated Kobe like a son, whereas his relationship with Jordan had been more brotherly. Kobe's fierce competitiveness was both an asset and a challenge. Jackson recognized that Kobe's relentless drive needed to be guided without stifling his autonomy. Meanwhile, Shaq's personality and discipline, shaped by a military upbringing, were vastly different. This dynamic created tension that Jackson had to navigate carefully. One of Jackson's strategies was allowing Kobe freedom to explore his game during the regular season while keeping the focus on team goals. Shaq, who often used the season to play his way into shape, benefited from Jackson's understanding approach. Kobe took on more responsibility during these times, which allowed him to develop his leadership skills. Balancing the dynamic between Kobe and Shaq was no easy task. Jackson used indirect communication, often speaking through the media to address issues. While this frustrated his players at times, it was part of his plan to build team unity. Phil would throw little quotes out there to create tension, a player noted. It would be messy at first, but he believed it would lead to a breakthrough. Despite the conflicts, Jackson's methods worked. Under his leadership, the Lakers achieved a historic three-peat, cementing their place as one of the NBA's greatest dynasties. Phil Jackson's ability to manage egos wasn't just evident in the success of the Lakers' three-peat, it was also in how he handled the fallout. The tension between Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal eventually led to Shaq's departure. and Jackson stepping away from coaching. Kobe, now chasing individual accolades, soon realized the full value of Jackson's guidance. When Jackson returned to the Lakers, the team was in a rebuilding phase, far from the dominant roster he was used to leading. Kobe was determined to prove he could lead a championship team, and Jackson's methods remained the same. Focus on mindfulness, team cohesion, and the triangle offense. The addition of Pau Gasol gave the Lakers the boost they needed, and Jackson led them to 3 consecutive finals appearances, securing back-to-back championships. Kobe's evolution under Jackson's system was remarkable. He matured as a leader, fully embracing the balance between individual brilliance and team success. Playing myself into shape gave me freedom, but Phil knew when to rein me back in, Kobe reflected. This mutual respect between coach and player defined their second run together. Reaching the finals 3 straight times on 4 separate occasions is almost unheard of in NBA history. Jackson's ability to create unity, even among clashing personalities, was central to his success. With 11 championships as a head coach, he achieved something no other coach has ever matched, cementing his place as the most successful coach in NBA history. Phil Jackson's system wasn't just a tactical masterpiece, it was a tool for empowerment. The triangle offense gave every player a purpose on the court, ensuring that even role players felt essential to the team's success. This wasn't just about X's and O's, it was about fostering confidence and trust. Players knew their roles, understood their value, and bought into the larger goal of winning championships. As Jackson's teams dominated the NBA landscape, the brilliance of the triangle offense became impossible to ignore. The system required players to make split-second decisions and demanded a high basketball IQ, but it also rewarded creativity and adaptability. Its success with both the Bulls and Lakers highlighted its versatility and the genius of Jackson's leadership. Even more impressive was how Jackson used the triangle to neutralize opposing strategies. The infamous Jordan rules, employed by the Detroit Pistons to contain Michael Jordan, were no match for the fluid, unpredictable movement of the triangle. Jackson's ability to adapt his strategies to counter any opponent set him apart from other coaches. Beyond the technical aspects, Jackson's emphasis on mindfulness was revolutionary. By teaching players to stay present and focused, he helped them overcome mental hurdles that could derail even the most talented teams. This holistic approach to coaching wasn't just innovative, it was transformative. Phil Jackson's legacy extends far beyond his 11 championship rings. His coaching philosophy revolutionized the way teams were built and led, inspiring countless coaches to look beyond tactics and focus on the mental and emotional well-being of their players. Jackson understood that greatness wasn't just about skill, it was about unlocking the full potential of every individual on the team. Under his guidance, players like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal not only thrived but redefined what it meant to be great. Jackson's approach, balancing strategy with mindfulness, ego management, and player empowerment, created dynasties that dominated the NBA for decades. Even after his final championship with the Lakers in 2010, Jackson's influence on the game remained undeniable. Coaches across the league adopted elements of his philosophy, recognizing the importance of mental strength and team cohesion. His ability to inspire players to reach heights they never thought possible is a testament to his genius. Phil Jackson's coaching career wasn't just about winning, it was about building something greater. He showed the world that with the right mindset, the right system, and the right leadership, the impossible becomes achievable.